start?
Are you good? Can't,
Alright, we want to introduce.
Okay. How many people have ever been to Australia? One person. Have you seen a saltwater crocodile?
I have not.
Anybody knows how big like a saltwater crocodile is? Normally, like the biggest one, the biggest one they found was from here all the way to Ryan. That's how big a saltwater crocodile is.
So today, guys, we're gonna tell you about Steve Irwin, or whatever his name is, and I'm Kyle Ishman. And these are the rest of my friends. I'll introduce them.
I'm Tony. This is Ryan Howard. You always have to say Howard after his name. Has anyone ever seen a full-grown stingray? This guy back here? Well, he knows. Just across, it's, oh yeah, they can't see that. It's like 6.5 feet. So about this length. This is a guesstimation of 6.5 feet. But.
Alright, would anybody in here go in the water with any of these animals?
no.
A guy who is in daily contact with these animals and many other deadly animals is Steve Irwin.
We'll have a little video for you guys so you can see what he does every day, basically.
Come back to life.
Wait, did you say every day?
Yeah.
What he did every day. You guys look closely, you can see me in this video. Watch, you'll see it. Watch. Wait for it. There I am running. God, dude, I'm the black guy in the background. You don't see it? I'm the black guy.
You like that running around in your living room?
These are crazy. Dude, cut that off. Alright, so today, guys, we'll tell you about, obviously, Steve Irwin. Not only was he famous for the TV show The Crocodile Hunter, he also owned his own zoo in Australia, and he was a wildlife expert. He has many accomplishments in his life. Some would probably say even his death was an accomplishment because he loved fish, and not many people die from stingray, and he was actually killed by stingray, which we'll talk about later on in our presentation.
Well, first we'll talk about some of like family accomplishments and some of the controversy that was surrounded by this person. Then we'll talk about his death in 2006, and then the last thing we'll talk about is how his death could have been avoided, and he could have still be here, make great videos, and feed crocodiles every day.
Stephen Robert Irwin was born on February 22nd, 1962 in Ashdod, Australia. I think that's how you pronounce it. In 1970, he and his family moved to Queensland, where he attended state and high school. And got that information from www.biography.com. After moving to Queensland, Bob and Lynn Irwin started a small reptile and fauna park where Steve grew up around snakes, crocodiles, and other reptiles. For his 6th birthday, Stephen was given a 12-foot python. He began handling crocodiles at the age of 9, where he also wrestled his first crocodile at the age of 9.
Also, according to biography.com, in 1991, Steve took over the management of the park, and 1 year later, he renamed it Australian Zoo. Also in 1991, Steve met his wife Terry, an American naturalist, who was visiting wildlife rehabilitation facilities in Australia. 4 months later, they were engaged, and a year later, they got married in Eugene, Oregon. Together, they had 2 children. Their daughter, Bindi Sue Irwin, was born in 1998, and their son, Robert Clarence Irwin, was born 5 years later in 2003.
There's a picture of them right now. That's her son, that's her daughter.
That's just
That's
cheating, just
it.
chilling. No big deal.
No.
You can pet him if you love
Just
him.
around, just around a little baby boy.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's sitting on it too.
It's like a dog. Alright, Some of his many accomplishments were the crocodile hunting. He played in Dr. Dolittle too as well. He was the voice of Happy Feet, which was a pretty good movie, and Ocean's Deadliest special TV special, which was released after his death. And I got all that information from biography.com.
Some of the controversy surrounding his person, a lot of people say he was not responsible enough and he's putting him in too much danger with his family and everything. And the biggest thing that stirred up the biggest controversy was in 2004, where he was feeding, like on the video we just saw, he was feeding a crocodile and he was holding his newborn son. You can see it right here. He was holding his newborn son in his in his left arm, and he was feeding the crocodile with his right arm, and people were like freaking out about it, and I would too.
Yeah.
But he says he got sued for that, but he never they didn't win because he said it was the kid wasn't really in danger, and he just wants the kid to grow up like he did, and he basically we already saw he was wrestling. He got a python for his 6th birthday, and he was wrestling stuff, and there's videos where his daughter is feeding a crocodile and stuff like that. So he just wants his kids to grow up like he did and just go through the whole experience of the zoo. And we got that information from Wikipedia.com.
Obviously, the question we want to know is where's his wife at during this situation.
Alright, on September 4, 2006, Irwin was fatally pierced in the chest by a stingray spine while snorkeling in the Great Barrier Reef at Bat Reef, which is located off the coast of Port Douglas in North Queensland.
Irwin was in the area filming his documentary, Ocean's Deadliest, but weather had stalled the filming. Irwin decided to take the opportunity to film some shallow water shots for a segment in the television program his daughter, Minnie Irwin, was hosting when the ray suddenly turned and lashed out at him with the spine on its tail. A combination of toxins and the punctured wound from the spine caused Irwin to die of cardiac arrest.
Okay, there's actually a video out on whenever he died, when he was, the guy who was filming this was basically filming it, that's where you can see where he died. That's right him. That's him right there with the stingray.
Right above him.
It's hard to see though.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't know if they probably didn't
He
really.
puts the camera down right when he notices what happens, right there.
So when he jerks away.
Yeah, it's right there, that's when he got stung. And the stingray actually stung him right through the heart. So. I'm sorry. Alright, that comes to our next part. How his death could have been averted. First thing, probably he shouldn't be so crazy. Nobody should jump into a pool with stingrays or crocodiles. There was a lot of times where he almost died with the crocodile. So that was our first thing how it could have been averted. And the second thing is, there's only stingrays. Normally people don't really die from stingrays. There's in Australia there was 6,000 attacks and only 3 deaths. So most of the time people just they step on it or something like that, and it's basically like a snake. The poison gets in your blood and then you get rushed to the hospital. You just get some medicine for it. And so normally people don't die. And the big mistake that he made whenever he got stung in the heart, he actually pulled it out, which released, people tell you that if you got bit by a snake or something like that, don't pull out the teeth because it releases the poison faster. And he actually pulled it out right there under, when he was still underwater, he was freaking out, and he just pulled the thing out and he started bleeding so much, and through that it just released the poison so much faster. And there was actually an incident that happened 3 months later where there was a guy in Florida. He was 81 years old, and he was fishing offshore, and he actually he was fishing, and a stingray jumped into his boat, and he grabbed it, and he wanted to throw it back out, and when he grabbed it stung him in the heart too. He threw it off, and the thing actually broke off, and it remained in his chest.
During that incident, he actually drove his boat all the way back to shore, And when he recognized that something was wrong, he asked his friends to call 911 while he laid on the dock. Dr. Eugene actually survived this attack, and because he was able to get to medical facilities in time. Which brings us to our point: if any of you are crazy enough to swim with stingrays and you get stung, do not pull out the little sting thing. Because you can survive from this. Obviously, from our slide shows that we got this, and we got this information from today, and that's NBC.com. Pretty much like Tristan said, the biggest mistake that Erwin made, which he could have averted, was pulling out the whatever the barb thing he was. I don't know. But yeah, if he wouldn't have pulled that out, he would have probably survived.
Alright, well today we talked to you about Steve Irwin, the greatest wildlife expert and crocodile hunter out there. First, we talked about his life, family, and some of his accomplishments. Secondly, we talked about his death in 2006 and some reasons for it. And last we told you how everything could have been averted.
So basically, lesson learned for today. For people, everybody who just wants to jump in a pool with stingrays, you got stung in the arse.
No, don't pull out.
Thank you.
Very good.